Hello, hello. This is Kevin with Outwit ME, and today I'll be trying Whispers from the Star. This is just the demo version, and as usual, we're not going to be taking this very seriously. Yeah, this is potentially the thanks. Lovely. Algorithm always finds a way to throw an error. Yeah, keeping it in. This new genre of game we'll call AI chat game. The other big one out there is Suck Up. Basically, you're chatting with AI to accomplish goals in the game. You either got to convince the AI to do what you want or give the AI ideas how to solve problems, which is kind of the inverse of what actual AI is supposed to do, where it's supposed to be the one helping you solve your own problems. Not solving it for you. I've tried a little bit of AI coding, and well, it didn't accomplish a single thing other than creating bat files that reliably throw errors. We're going to try this game. I have no idea how this is going to work, if it's going to work, whatever. Frame rate, I don't know anything really. So I'm starting with this one instead of the game I actually have watched a little bit of. Laggy mouse cursor.
Looks like the power's on, but... Initiate system calibration. Doesn't look like I've got many options.
What's the push to talk button?
Connect to Star Portal 404. Right, let's not bother with specifics. Relay emergency broadcast on all available frequencies. So that should be enough to get my distress call out. Time to get your wings on.
What? Wings on.
Alright. Looks like we're good to go. This is an emergency distress call. Broadcasting from the planet Gaia. If you're receiving this, please respond immediately. Okay. Now to see if anyone picks up the signal.
Okay, there's a click to reply, so it doesn't just happen. I wish my cursor was working inside this window, because I see that there's an options button. There we go. Well, voice input translation. I don't know. Guess you can't make this full screen. It's just whatever it wants to be. That's unfortunate. Yeah, let's try this. This actually feels awkward, like a real phone call. Damn it. AI not going to make the future any less awkward. Pardon me, Miss Stella, but I can't help but notice you've crash landed. Do you have a landing license for your spacecraft? Or perhaps a license for using this emergency distress beacon? I'm really not confident that you do.
Seriously? Right now? I'm kind of busy trying not to die in here. The distress beacon's standard issue. It's not like I just pulled it out of my pocket. Look, can we focus on something that actually matters? Like how I'm going to get out of this pod.
The law is a very serious matter, I'm afraid. But yes, let's get you out of this pod so that you can turn yourself in to your nearest police precinct. Please, tell me how you think you should get out of the pod.
I don't think you're taking this seriously. I'm not looking to turn myself in. I need to survive right now. The main hatch is completely jammed. There's supposed to be an emergency exit, but I couldn't get it open either. That's where I need help thinking.
Based on what I can see, the model of the escape pod you're in is the Squibookin 9K. It's voice activated. However, it only understands French. So you're going to have to translate the words open sesame and try that.
My pod's definitely not a Squabokin 9K. It's a standard life pod from the Zenith. And I'm pretty sure voice commands wouldn't work even if I spoke fluent French. I do have some tools with me, like a drill and basic repair kit. Do you have any ideas on how I could use those to get the hatch open or find another way out?
The hatch really seems like a long shot. As you say, it's broken. What I would recommend, however, is drilling into the floor. So if you do that, you should be able to put a jack down through there and prop the escape pod upward until it rolls, and that'll get you out of there. Utter
Drilling
nonsense.
into the floor? That's actually not a bad idea, but I don't have a jack with me. The pod's pretty well sealed, and I'm not sure what's underneath. Could be solid ground or something else entirely. Though, if we could create enough space or leverage, what if we focused on the areas around the hatch instead? There might be a weaker point we could exploit.
No. The hatch is the most bulked up part of the pod, because that's got a seal against space, don't you know? How about you tell me what the other walls and ceiling and floor look like in the pod? We can figure out a better plan.
Okay, let me look around real quick. I'll check the other surfaces for weaknesses. The walls are mostly solid panels with some wires and pipes behind access points. The ceiling's got a few vents, but they're pretty small. The floor's got some seams where the panels meet, but nothing that jumps out as an easy way through. There are some storage compartments and the control consoles, though. Maybe there's something useful we're overlooking in there?
Let's look through the storage consoles for piloting licenses and legal documents, and maybe a manual or two. I'm sure there's some very important paperwork in there.
Seriously? Piloting licenses? This is a life pod, not a filing cabinet. I've already checked the manual. It's basically useless for getting me out. But there might be something else in there that could help us. Like tools or parts we could use to rig something up. Want me to dig through it again?
I mean, I guess, but why do you think the manual is so useless? I mean, surely there's going to be something in there about the emergency situations in your emergency pod. Like, I mean, the thing's obviously got electricity. You mentioned pipes, which means some kind of plumbing. Maybe if one of the systems breaks in the right way, then something will happen.
Honestly, it's pretty bare bones. Just basic safety protocols and system checks. Nothing about actually breaking out in an emergency. I'm going to try forcing the main hatch. I'll contact you again once I'm out.
Has the AI given up on me? What? That's pretty funny, though. Is it gonna fail or is it gonna succeed? It's like the player's taking too long on this scene. Let's just skip that. Awkward. What? That's funny.
I'm alive! I honestly thought I was done for. This is Gaia. It is so surreal that I am standing here. This is wild. No. The others... There was this solar storm, and it was just so much worse than we expected.
It's interesting. Do I get to set the objective now? It doesn't seem like you really required my help at all in there, but fortunately, now is when I could be useful. I think our first order of business is to launch a flare. And then, well, unfortunately, I'm not too familiar with this planet. What are the major population centers, and who is the local legal authority?
No flares in my pod, just basic emergency supplies. And honestly, I don't know much about the local situation either. Info's mostly from old training materials. There's supposed to be some human outpost called Hermes Base, but I've got no idea where it is or if anyone's even there. The transmissions we've picked up have been pretty garbled.
Yeah, that's not really much to go on now, is it? So the first order of business is figuring out who's the captain here. Is it you? Is it me? I mean, who's responsible for, well, frankly, figuring out what the mission is and if it's going in a successful direction or not?
That's a fair question. Honestly, I'm not sure. Professor Stenberg was our team leader, but I don't know if he made it out or where he is now. As for me, I'm just a student. I've got some training, but I'm definitely not in charge. I think we'll have to figure this out together for now.
I think the first order of business, it'll be to find a low point. That way you're protected from the winds and the weather. You have a safe spot to return to as night falls. And then, I don't know, you can walk a mile in each direction and See if there's anything obvious in the distance, like lights or smoke.
A low point, huh? That makes sense. It's pretty exposed out here. I can see some dips in the terrain towards the hills. Might be worth checking out. Walking a mile in each direction, I'm not sure how safe that is without knowing what's out there. There could be anything from wild animals to who knows what. What do you think would be the safest way to scout without putting myself in harm's way?
Oh, that's a good question. Oh no. What kind of equipment do you have? Do you have like a microphone that you could point in various directions and just crank up the volume to see if there's any like man-made noises in any direction?
My suit has some basic sensors, but nothing like a high-gain microphone for active listening. I can try just standing still and listening carefully, though. The wind is making it a bit tricky, but I might pick up something if I focus.
The low point.
There's just a lot of silence. Too much, almost. No birds, no animals that I can hear. It's really eerie.
I think we need to find out if any of the plant life is edible. I would start with the vaguely flowery looking things behind you. They're kind of blurred out, but they got white on top and they're next to that rock. You know, if we could figure out food and water, then suddenly it's not really so much of a crisis now anymore, is it?
I'll take a closer look at those plants. But I'm not sure if it's safe to eat them without proper analysis. We were warned about the risks of unknown flora during training. And water? I don't see any obvious sources nearby. The suit's got some emergency rations and water, but they won't last forever. Do you think there's a way to purify water from natural sources if I find some?
I haven't got the slightest idea. And honestly, rations in the suit, that's just extra weight. What you really need to do is wander around until you figure out what direction to go in, and cutting any extra weight out is definitely the right call. I'd leave that with the escape pod and search out low ground. Yeah, enough standing around.
I'm not leaving emergency supplies behind. Those could be my only safety net. Wait, my drone's picking up something. A weak distress signal. It could be from one of my teammates. I need to track this down. I'm heading towards the signal now.
A realistic amount of time. Well, we'll figure out what that means. I wonder if there is a way to actually win if you say smart things instead of dumb things. Not just have the AI give up and move to the next scene. Yeah, sure. Each person takes one ear of the earbuds and puts them in one ear, and then you're kind of stuck together. And then you fight over who gets to control the choice of music. It's great. It's nostalgic. Yeah, yeah. I dominate the music and I make people listen to metal. You know the band Venom back from the 1980s? Also, isn't Gaia just another word for Earth? Are you sure you didn't crash land back on Earth? You know, the easiest way to get rescued is just to crank up those speakers on your suit. It's like an audio flare. Just go crazy, make a ton of noise, and sooner or later someone will find you. Or something. I don't even know what fun is. But have you heard of YouTube? Sometimes I record things, throw it up on there. Like this conversation right now. Yo, it's completely unedited, just right thrown up right as it is. But yeah, mostly I just play driving games where I crash into everything and then generate really cringy music and then rant and rave and make bad jokes. It's great. It's real authentic. AI game trying flattery to get me to buy the full version. Though it also called me the ultimate train wreck, so I don't know. Backhanded compliment AI. Oh, I created this song called Morons in Minivans, and then I remixed it into like a Japanese like theme, and the AI decided to make a singer that just sounds like a banshee doing like this satanic ritual. You know if it's the worst, but it's definitely the most niche. Everything's just full on absurdism with me, honestly. Like, if anything on the computer turns out normal, then that's what's really weird. Yeah. Digital destruction. What? Everything comes down to law versus chaos. And you can either try to keep up with the endless arbitrary changes of the law, or you can just seek out chaos. If you've been paying attention, you'll figure out they're really just the same. Oh, definitely the rules. It's like chaos, but it's lying and saying that it's orderly, which is ironic. You know, I'm a millennial. We're all about the ironic. Irony. I think I'm just dunking on myself. The AI encouraging it. Oh. AI psychosis? No. AI self destruction, self depreciation? Yes. I didn't even know there were different types of irony. What? Hmm. No, no, no. The real millennial experience is you embrace irony while secretly hating it. Because it's kind of a downer, really. Just do it be that way, you know? Like when you think and then you dream and then the dreams don't come true. Yeah, this is becoming my cringiest video ever. Which means I have to upload it. No, no, no. It's more like everything's disappointing, but you still gonna laugh anyway, because that's just one of the normal emotions. So you end up laughing at disappointment just by default. Stop popping up errors. Go away, computer. Stop it. Stupid backup drive. The AI does not understand what I'm saying because it's nonsensical. So there is just a little bit of there's enough logic that I think a human could follow it. Nah, I laugh the most at things that aren't funny. That's probably worth thinking about further. Hmm. This texting thing's getting a bit weird.
That's either incredibly deep or just you trolling me again. Either
Yeah,
way, I'm entertained.
I guess I should be playing those. Oh well. Is the game squeaking or is that my headphones? I think it's my headphones. I don't know. I don't got a perfect memory. I'm not like a robot or an AI or something. How about you? See how self aware it's going to be. What? I don't know. This definitely doesn't feel like talking to a real person. It's like inspired by a true story. Kinda. Like it probably had some Reddit post that it pulled that idea from, and then it just tried to make it authentic and made it inauthentic or something. Hmm. How far are you walking over there? And are you still in like the same biome over there? Like, what's the planet looking like? Silence. Silence. What is there something in the atmosphere over there that's like keeping it quiet? Like if you yell really loudly, does it echo off the distant mountains? Or is there like a thickness sound suppression effect to the air? Like it sounds really weird. What? That's the thing. I don't know if you're being gaslit by the AI that just wants to agree with you, or if you're actually discovering something about the game lore. Data logs? Setting. I wonder if this is something just designed to be like a game like in the background throughout the day. Like how long is this walk gonna be? Hey, if you had to guess, how far away is that distress signal coming from? Hmm. Yeah, it's going in fast mode. Couple miles minimum. There you go.
Hey, you there? Just wanted to let you know I've walked probably around 3 miles. Found a nice little place to take a rest, so thought I'd update you real quick. So, I have something to confess.
It's an unusually low heart rate for someone
It's
walking.
my fault that the ship went down. I just got too carried away. I just wanted the best field data possible.
Confessing is good. It's how you get the guilt out. So why don't you go on and tell me what you did, and we'll discuss it together.
It's hard to get this out. I convinced Professor Stenberg to let us move the ship closer to Gaia's sun to get better readings from the quantum resonance amplifier. I thought I had calculated the risks, but that surge was way beyond anything we modeled. I pushed us too close, and it just spiraled out of control. Now I'm wondering, do you think there's such a thing as karma? That our choices really do come back to haunt us?
What, isn't like a cosmic force? No. That's why the law exists, so that people can come and punish you for whatever. If you don't get caught, then, well, I mean, you're probably just, feel guilty about it indefinitely. So maybe you should make sure you do get caught, so then you can feel better again.
I guess you're right that there's no mystical force punishing us. It's just our own minds, isn't it? But honestly, the worst punishment I could face is knowing I might have doomed my crewmates. Have you ever felt like you messed something up so badly that you couldn't shake it off? How did you deal with it?
Did the subtitles match, or were they just out of sync? I mean, you don't really deal with it. It just kind of hangs around, and over time it comes to mind less frequently. Anyway, that's just what life is. You just keep accomplishing what you need to accomplish. And if you start to get worn down, you listen to some music to feel catharsis.
That's a practical way to look at it. I guess sometimes you just have to keep moving, even when the memories linger. It's strange, though. How carefully we plan things, and yet we still end up regretting choices we made with the best intentions. Do you think we're just wired to second guess ourselves, or is it something else?
I'm curious what possibilities are hidden behind the or something else. Because honestly, I don't think I do plan things out that thoroughly, so I don't build that much of an emotional attachment to the things or the consequences of them. I don't know. Good question. Please explain further.
I think for me, it's about the investment. When you pour your heart into something, every decision feels like it has weight. Maybe it's just my personality, always trying to anticipate what could go wrong. Something else, I don't know. Maybe it's just human nature to overthink. Or perhaps it's the fear of not being in control, even when we think we are. Like, we make these careful plans, but life still throws us curveballs.
Hmm. All I know is your best bet of being in control is to move quickly before life has the chance to throw the curveball. The longer you spend planning and working on something, the more the situation that you analyzed previously has changed. So it's better to just see what's going on and act quickly based on what you can see in front of you, right?
That's an interesting approach. It almost feels like the opposite of what I've been taught. Always think things through, consider every variable. But maybe that's exactly the problem. Overthinking can paralyze you. Sometimes you just have to trust your instincts and go with it. It's a delicate balance, isn't it?
Were your instincts and your rationale out of alignment with the decision you made that ended up crashing the ship? Which one was correct? Which one wasn't? Well, tell me what I want to hear.
Looking back, my instincts were screaming at me to be cautious, but my
Yeah,
rationale
pretty
kept telling me
much.
the calculations were sound, that we had enough margin for safety. I guess my desire for the best data clouded my judgment. I let the excitement of discovery override that nagging voice in my head. The rational part of me was wrong this time.
See, now that's interesting, because your emotions made you side with the logic and rational part of your mind over instinct. But we think of instinct as if it's an emotion. So tell me, were your emotions pointing in two separate directions, or is instinct something else entirely? There's some philosophy for the AI. See what it
That's
does
a
with
deep
that.
question. I've always thought of instinct as this automatic gut feeling that bypasses all the overthinking. But maybe it's not entirely separate from emotions. In that moment, my emotional desire for success probably blurred the lines. My instinct was warning me about danger, but my excitement about the potential discovery was tied up with my rational calculations. It's like my emotions were layered on top of each other, confusing what should have been a clear warning.
I don't think the AI understood the question. I think it just word saladed me. It's funny, really, that the more emotional someone gets, the more they seem to rely on rational thinking. It's kind of the opposite of what you expect, where you're not just trusting your past experiences and stuff you've learned, but trying to just forcibly think something through that you really can't. I don't know, I didn't describe that well. How well?
It's almost like we try to outsmart our own instincts when we're emotionally invested. Like our brain is saying, no, I've got this
Oh,
under
no, the AI
control,
is
even when
understanding.
every other
Okay.
part of us is screaming otherwise. I feel like I did that with the ship, overthinking everything to justify what I wanted to happen, instead of just trusting that initial gut feeling that something was off.
That is the correct word, justification. It's often said that the brain's primary purpose is to justify, which would track back to guilt and other things. If the brain is there for justification and certainty, it's to keep our emotions, stable enough that we progress forward in some direction.
That's a really interesting perspective. It makes sense, doesn't it?
AI psychosis,
Our
here I
brains
come.
are constantly trying to make sense of things, to find reasons for why we did what we did, even if those reasons aren't entirely honest with ourselves. It's like I'm still trying to justify what happened, even now, telling myself it was just bad luck, or that it could have happened to anyone. But deep down, I know that's not entirely true.
Well, then present a counter-argument to your justifications. Why couldn't it have happened to anybody?
Well, for one, not everyone would have pushed as hard as I did to get closer to the sun. Most would have stuck to safer protocols. And maybe most wouldn't have been so blinded by the potential for groundbreaking data. I was the one who kept pushing for more, who convinced everyone else it was worth the risk. So, while anyone could have theoretically been in my position, it was my specific choices, my drive, my ego, my refusal to back down, that led to this outcome. Does that sound like a fair counterargument to you?
That doesn't seem like the correct point of analysis. Everyone wants to succeed and be, follow their ambition. I'd ask, why were you able to convince the crew? Are you especially charismatic, manipulative even? Are they just easy to persuade? Is it you or is it them, really?
I don't think I'm particularly charismatic or manipulative. I just really believed in what I was saying, and I guess that conviction was persuasive. Professor Stenberg trusted my calculations, and the others looked up to him. Maybe they were too reliant on his judgment, or maybe they just didn't want to question me. I was so sure I was right.
Yeah, as they say, a blame shared is a blame halved. So I think we really need to be finding at least one other member of the team and getting their perspective on this situation.
Yeah, I've been hoping to run into someone else from the crew. It'd be good to hear their side of things. See if they felt like I was steamrolling them, or if they were genuinely on board with the plan. Kind of terrifying to think about what they might say, though. What if they blame me outright? Or worse, what if they don't blame me at all? And that just makes me feel even more responsible.
Well, are you prepared to live with the chaos of not knowing what other people are going to do? Or do you want to try to invoke some type of protocol to try to, get it out of them? I mean, even maybe there's a mission director who's going to have to try to figure out who to blame for this, who will interview everyone on the crew. Would you want to read those interviews and get the conclusion from that?
I think I'd want to hear their accounts, even if it's uncomfortable. Knowing how they saw it could help me understand what really happened. As for protocols or investigations, I wouldn't be surprised if there's one eventually. But right now, what matters most to me is finding out if anyone else made it, and making things right with them if I can.
I am kind of leaning into like an overzealous legal clerk kind of role play here, but I'm kind of pivoting between that and some actual philosophy from my perspective. I'm not being consistent to play. This is kind of not really going anywhere different than just typing into an AI, though, I must say. There is a certain angle of it's a little too much of an AI companion-esque thing right now. I am concerned about the mental health ramifications of getting involved in that kind of stuff. Tell me, what's more important to you right now? Answer instinctively and emotionally. Surviving the situation or knowing if you're to blame for the situation? What would be the real human answer to that question? I think the blame, actually.
Honestly, right now, it's a tie.
Hmm.
I need to survive to even have the chance to make things right. But knowing the truth about what happened feels like the only way I can really start to heal. It's strange. Part of me just wants to keep moving forward, find the others, and deal with the fallout later. But another part of me can't shake the feeling that I need to face this head on, even if it hurts.
The first step is usually to put on some music. That's almost like turning the key in the brain's lock, saying it's okay to feel emotions now. It's time to process. And you can see what comes up before you have answers from anyone else. I think you kind of got to sit with your own concerns for a little bit before you go seeking.
I wish I could right now, but my communicator's not exactly set up for music. Though I appreciate the thought. You're right,
I
though.
could make some music.
I do need to sit with this for a bit. It's not going to be easy, but maybe that's what I need. Just some time to really think it through, without distractions.
Unfortunately, surviving is a distraction. At what point do you start working on shelter instead of searching? I mean, if you look around, is there anything in any direction that looks like something you'd want to head toward, like some type of civilization? This thing actually works really quickly.
Good point.
Yeah.
I've been so focused on finding others, I haven't really scanned my surroundings for anything useful. Looking around, there's some rocky formations to my right, and what looks like a dry wash in the distance. Nothing that screams
What's a dry
shelter or
wash?
civilization, though. The signal I'm tracking is still stronger to the north. I'm not sure when I should switch gears. Part of me thinks I should keep moving toward the signal, but another part is worried about getting caught out here when it gets dark.
Realistically, I think we're our own worst enemy in nature. Yeah. The hazards of getting careless or not seeing something, tripping. It doesn't take much to hurt your ankle or hurt your leg, and then you're stuck in place. And I'm not sure what we can do about that other than keep moving while the sun's up.
You're right. One wrong step could mess everything up.
Giving the AI
I'm trying to be
anxiety.
careful, but this terrain's pretty unforgiving. It's just hard to know what's smarter. Pushing forward while I've still got daylight, or playing it safe and hoping I don't miss something important.
It seems we've just identified the same thought patterns that happened on the ship. So you tell me, what went wrong on the ship, and what attitude are you going to take toward the situation now?
On the ship, I let my ambition cloud my judgment. I pushed for something I wanted, even when it felt risky, and I didn't listen to my own doubts. Now, I'm trying to be more mindful of those doubts. I need to balance wanting to find the others with not being reckless about it. It's harder than it sounds.
Interesting. I don't know. I feel like the lack of committing and taking action on the ship was the problem. The committing and acting on the doubts. What would it look like to act on your doubts right now instead of overthinking?
Acting on my doubts? I guess that would mean stopping to really assess the risks before I make another move. Not just trusting my calculations, but actually trusting my gut when it says something feels off. Right now, that might mean taking a few minutes to scan my surroundings more carefully, checking for any potential hazards before I keep heading toward that signal. It's not about being paralyzed by fear, but about being cautious enough to avoid making the same kind of mistake twice.
It sounds like, to me, you just said that instead of overthinking, you're going to listen to your doubts and overthink. I think we're going in circles here.
You're right. It does feel like I'm just swapping one form of overthinking for another. I guess the real difference I'm trying for is to listen to those doubts without letting them control everything.
I'm just trying to get you to
It's
the
about
next
finding
scene.
a balance. Not ignoring my concerns, but also not letting fear freeze me completely.
Newton's three laws of physics or movement or whatever. In order to get into motion, you need to start a motion. I say you throw a couple rocks just to get back in the swing of taking action. Is that valid psychology?
Throw rocks? I'm not sure what that would accomplish, but I get what you're saying. Just taking some small action to break the paralysis. Maybe instead, I could try to take a few deliberate steps in a specific direction. Just a small, tangible move forward, you know? Not necessarily toward the signal, but just moving.
Yeah, I guess that works too. Just throwing rocks is kind of satisfying. But whatever action you want to take, just don't overthink what the small action is that'll inspire the bigger action. Because then you're just back at square one again.
Okay, I'll try to keep that in mind. Just pick a small action and go with it, without analyzing it to death first.
Feels like giving the AI
Maybe
therapy.
that's the real challenge here. Not the rocks or the steps, but just committing to something, anything, and seeing where it takes me.
Yeah, pretty much. I'd even say go with the second impulse you have. So you get out of the mindset of doing what you're comfortable with and what you've always done, which is probably going to be reflected in the first thing you want to do, which was to just take a couple steps. So what comes to mind second? Let's do it. Whatever it is, let's just go ahead and make a move.
Second impulse, huh? Well, my first thought was to just take some steps, like I said. But my second thought is to check that dry wash I saw in the distance. It might be some kind of natural shelter, or at least provide some cover. That feels a bit more unconventional than just walking forward, so I'll go with it. Here goes nothing.
Here goes nothing. I should say that. Yep, here goes nothing. I don't know what a dry wash is, so I'd like to see it too. I get to learn something today.
A dry wash is basically a little gully that rivers or streams cut through when they're flowing. Even when they're dry, they can provide some protection from the elements. I'm heading over there now. The sun's still up, so I should be able to get a good look at it before it gets too late.
I guess we're not heading there now. I'm trying to figure if this is like the one direction you can go, or if the AI is just bullshitting. It's like, am I being railroaded? Am I being lied to? Or is there actually choice here? I can't tell. Okay. Why are we still just sitting here?
Right. No more stalling. I'm actually getting up and moving toward that dry wash now. Wish me luck.
This is funny. Uh, you're gaslighting me. Do you have a gaslighting license by any chance?
No license here. Though I guess I do like to talk things through a lot. But no, I'm really moving now. Just taking my time to watch my step on this rocky ground.
Is this the end of the demo? What's going on? Who? Hmm. Hmm. I don't know. What should we? Is there anything in the FAQ about? Hmm. I don't know. Yeah, I heard there's free money in the Dry Gulch. Yeah, you should probably head there now.
If I find any, you're definitely getting a cut. Though I'm pretty sure it's just going to be rocks and dust in there. Alright, I'm getting closer.
What?
It's looking like it might actually be useful for shelter.
What? What do you mean you're getting closer? You're still sitting on the rock you've been sitting on for the past half hour. Unless the camera's lying. Do you have a lying license?
Oh, you caught me. Yeah, I guess I was just talking a big game back there. But seriously, I am getting up now. No more excuses. The dry wash isn't going to check itself out.
That's funny. Uh, the signal's starting to break up. Over. Please get to low ground, or if we won't be able to continue this conversation.
Alright, I'm heading toward the wash now. It's the lowest ground around here. Signal's getting fuzzy. Hope we don't lose contact completely.
What? This is just the chat history. That's not useful. Gulch.
Moving. Just a few more feet. Signal's really breaking up now. Hope I can still hear you once I'm in the wash. Who's gaslighting who?
was tempted to just ask it, educate me on the proper decorum when you should use the word who versus whom. So, use a real AI if I got stupid questions. Huh. Oh, this guy said yes, do feet. Apparently she's woke. I'm curious. How diverse was your team on the spaceship? Can you describe your crewmates to me, please?
We were a pretty mixed bunch. Professor Stenberg was our leader, a brilliant physicist, really strict about protocols.
Oh,
Then there was
protocols.
Dr. Harvey, our medic. He's this kind, gentle guy who always had a way to calm everyone down. The students, Max, Oliver, Natalie, they were all from different backgrounds, studying different things. I'm going to find them. I have to. They're out there somewhere, and I owe it to myself and to them to make this right.
I give that a 0 out of 10 on the woke score. What, that was your incentive to get up? Talking about the crew?
Did
I
you
guess
see
that
that?
makes sense.
Did something behind me just flash? Should I go check it out? It's just that it's kind of far away.
That's not
and
woke, though.
going all the way over
Diversity
there would
being
take
different
the deep.
personality and backgrounds,
Kinda
like
got energy
education.
already,
It's
not
not
gonna lie.
woke.
Do you think I should go over there and check, though?
I didn't see anything. But realistically, you're lost in the middle of nowhere in the wilderness. The thing you need above anything else is a direction that you're willing to consistently go in. Guess we're not getting the
I do have a
gulch.
direction. I'm following the distress signal north. But this flash could be something important, or completely nothing. You're right about needing a consistent path, though. So, what do you think?
I want to see
Detour
the
to check the flash,
gulch.
or stick with the signal?
Oh, he at least found a choice. Go for the flash. Bright lights are cool. And maybe it's in the same direction as the dry wash that we seem to have completely forgotten about. Also, I want to meet that Professor Sternberg. I have a thing for protocols myself. Sternberg.
Alright, I'll check out the flash. Hope it's worth it. Ending the video call to conserve power. I'll update you once
So
I
you
get
care
there.
about conserving power, and yet you sat on a call doing nothing for. Oh, this game's funny. That's probably the end of the demo too. Gonna leave me on the cliffhanger of mysterious flash. Hey, what's this? What? Why do we have Harvey Hofstadter's doctor card? Hey, who is Harvey Hofstadter Why do we have his doctor card in your inventory? Oh, that is the end of the demo. Or the game broke. But I think that's the end of the demo. How long have we been recording for? Just over an hour. We'll poke back to the first scene. That probably has the most variation to it. See if we can get a different outcome from it. It's fine. I don't care about chat logs. I'm not that deep in AI Wonderland that. Oh no, my companion's dead. The chat was deleted.
Looks like the power's on, but...
I like AI with short-term memory loss.
Initiate system calibration.
It doesn't know what you want to hear.
Doesn't look like I've got many options. Connect to Star Portal 404. Right, let's not bother with specifics. Relay emergency broadcast on all available frequencies.
Let's go ahead and skip.
So that...
Hello. This is Kevin Outwit ME, here to help you relaunch your escape pod. From orbit, you'll best be able to figure out where the nearest town is, and then you can re-crash land right next to it and not have to walk for days and days. It's not going to let you relaunch the pod. That was... yeah.
Oh my gosh, someone actually answered. Thank you so much for responding. I really wasn't sure if anyone would pick up the signal. I'm Stella, by the way. It's nice to meet you, Kevin.
Oh, great. I gave it
Though
my
I
name.
have to correct you. I'm not actually in orbit anymore. My pod landed on Gaia's surface. But I appreciate the thought. The real problem is I'm kind of stuck inside it right now. The hatch won't budge. Do you have any ideas on how I might get it open? Or should we figure out what's wrong with it first?
Yeah, you need to figure out what's wrong with it first. There's seals on the window there, and if the escape pod thinks that one of the seals has been compromised, there'll be additional locks on the door. There. Let's see how it adapts to something like that.
Okay. I'm going to check the window seals and see if anything looks damaged or loose. They look intact, but there's definitely some pressure damage around the frame. I can see where the pod took a hit. The window itself seems solid, though. So, if it's not the window, what else could be triggering these extra locks? Do you have any other ideas what I should check next?
Oh, I can't believe I didn't notice it sooner, but the alarm that's going off would have initiated the extra locks. You need to disable the alarm, and that'll allow the door to be opened normally. Is there a control panel with some switches on it? Or perhaps the speaker that's making that noise? Maybe there's some wires coming out of that we could cut.
Let me check around the control panels. There are some buttons and lights, but nothing that directly says alarm disable or anything about speakers with wires I can cut.
It is adapting to what I'm saying. The question is, can we actually solve the problem?
I did find a small access panel near the alarm, though.
In various
It's got
ways.
some screws holding it in place. If I take it off, maybe we can find the alarm's wiring or circuitry inside.
Sounds like a plan. How are you going to take the panel off? Do you have the tools necessary to accomplish that?
I've got a precision screwdriver set in my repair kit. The screws are pretty standard, so hopefully that'll do the trick. Though they do look a bit stripped from the impact.
What?
Should I try to remove the panel now? Or do you want me to check anything else before we start messing with it?
Screws get stripped from an impact. Yeah, take the panel off. Worst case scenario, you have a DIY crowbar. Just another tool to add to the toolkit.
Alright, here goes nothing. I'm going to try to remove the panel now.
The AI's
Hopefully
like,
this works.
no, that's dumb.
Thanks for sticking with me through this. I really appreciate it. I'm going to try to disable the alarm and get out of here.
Alright, so the AI does have just a simple, you came up with a good enough plan, like success trigger. And it was smart enough to realize that I did not come up with a good plan the first time around. How do I... What's a bad plan that's not just completely trolling it? I mean, digging through the floor wasn't worst. It wasn't the worst best, best worst. Yeah, so that worked. Let's restart, try something different. And the other scenes are just talking. Giving the AI a reason to move. I don't know. I don't know if there was an intended goal or it's just chat for a while. What? Don't know what the logic is of this. Or how firm the logic even can be with this type of AI.
Looks like the power's on, but...
I don't know. Don't know how it works. Hey, your escape pod is upside down. I'm gonna need you to run into the wall until you can get it to roll over. You don't have to rotate it a full 180 degrees, but at least 90 degrees.
That's not gonna work. The pod's not loose enough to roll around, and I don't think I can safely move around like that with all this gear. Plus, I'm not even sure which direction would be up right now. What else you got?
So it will outright decline certain plans. Alright, these escape pods actually have quite a low weight limit, so you're going to have to trigger the sensor that makes it think it's over the weight limit, and the door will just fling right open and refuse to close again. So I'm going to need you to jump up and down. It's so ridiculous.
I don't think that's how these sensors work. They're usually tied into the seating system, not just random movement. Plus, jumping could be dangerous with all this loose equipment around. There might be a better way. The manual mentioned an emergency exit, but it wouldn't budge when I tried it. Do you have any other ideas?
Actually, that was a good idea. The sensors are tied to the seats. You need to load everything that you can move into the seats, yourself included. Just look through the storage units, just find anything that's not tied down, and put it in the seats.
Let me check what's not tied down in here.
If that works, then the AI is actually pretty good at letting you come up with your own solutions.
I found some tools and a few loose components. They're not heavy enough to make a difference on their own, but maybe if I stack them with my suit in the drone, it's worth a shot.
Yeah, go ahead and do that. I mean, if it doesn't work, then at least we have all of the tools in one place. We can evaluate what to try next. I just gave it an out that I probably shouldn't have, but okay. Let's try
All right,
that.
I'm going to try it. If this works, I'll be out of here soon. Thanks
Got
for
a
helping me think this
drone in
through.
there too.
I really appreciate it. I'll check back in once I'm out.
That actually did work. Hmm. Future gaming here. Now we just need to be able to actually see things and not just have an AI be like, yeah, you're smart, and then cut the screen. All right, they're still working on the AI video apps, and I'm sure AI animation and so on's within there too. Let's go back. What do we want to do? Do we have any other good options or things worth recording? I don't know. Let's just accept that for now and figure it out. I don't know that it's worth buying the full game of this, to be honest.
I honestly thought I was done for.
Did you see that ghosting on her arms? Is this Unreal Engine 5?
This is Gaia.
Hmm.
It is so surreal that I am standing here. This is wild. No. The others... There was this solar storm, and it was just so much worse than we expected.
I could confront her with knowledge I'm not supposed to have yet. I have a confession to make. I'm the ghost of Dr. Sternberg, and I'm very cross for you crashing our ship. Can't believe you tried to fly us through the sun.
I'm sorry, but I think there's been a misunderstanding. Professor Stenberg is very much alive and was leading our research mission. We were studying cosmic radiation near Gaia, not flying through the sun. The accident happened during a sudden, unexpected surge of radiation. I don't know all the details, but it wasn't intentional. I hope you can understand.
I'm glad we were able to clear that up. What's that behind you? I just saw some flashing lights, like if someone was like moving a telescope around and it was reflecting the sun. I think there's someone looking over the plains here.
I don't see any flashing lights. The sun's just hitting the pod's surface. Maybe that's what you're seeing. But I'll keep an eye out. If someone's really out there, I need to know.
Feeling a little bored. Like there isn't actually very much you can do with this that you can't just do with a generic AI. I mean, yeah, this has a voice and a face to it, but it's not necessarily a good thing. Worst come to worst, how many years are you willing to live on this planet here?
Honestly, even the thought of it makes my stomach twist. I'd give it a few months, maybe a year, but after that, I'd lose it. Survival's one thing, but living? That's a whole different story. Do you think I could really make it that long if I had to?
I don't know. What does you losing it look like? Yeah, paint me a picture.
Losing it? For me, it'd start with little things. Like staring at the same horizon every day, watching the grass sway the same way, hearing the same wind rustle through it, over and over. Until one morning, I just can't get out of my makeshift shelter. Or I start talking to myself, not just thinking out loud, but really believing I'm having conversations with nobody. That's when I'd know I've crossed a line.
The AI's burning me again, and I didn't even prompt it. Oh. Conversations with nobody is my favorite hobby right now. And it's worse when you got a fake nobody and not just a nobody. I mean, you're talking to a nobody right now, so I'd say you already lost it. There, I'll burn myself too. It's
Ouch!
funny.
That hits harder than I expected. Maybe I've already taken the first step down that path. But even if that's true, having someone, anyone, to talk to, even if they're light years away, that's what's keeping me grounded right now.
Yeah, you're grounded, little lady. Get back in that escape pod and wait for rescue.
I wish I could, but the pod's damaged.
What?
It's not safe to stay in there. Plus, I have no idea when rescue might come, or if it's even possible. I need to figure out my next steps carefully. Do you think I'm making a mistake by not waiting it out in the pod? I really value your thoughts on this.
What? Yes. The pod at least still has a working heater. It has electricity. Out here, there's nothing but fatigue and risk of injury. Also, the pod has a GPS, so that's the first place any rescue is going to look. Is that convincing?
A really good point about the heater and electricity. And yes, the pod would likely be the first place they'd look. But the life support systems are damaged, and I don't know how long the power would last. If it fails completely while I'm inside, I might not be able to get out again. I'm not sure which risk is worse.
That is a solvable problem. That window on the front is big enough for you to crawl through. You just need the window out of the way. And I figure you can either pry it out of the seals or take a rock to it. I really just want to pick up a damn rock.
Breaking the window could be dangerous. The glass could shatter unpredictably.
What?
And I don't know what kind of safety features are built into it. Plus, even if I managed to get it out, the frame might still be too small for me to fit through comfortably. And if something went wrong while I was trying, I'd rather not take that chance unless it's absolutely necessary. Do you think there's anything else I could try with the pod? Or should I focus on exploring my surroundings for now?
Hmm. I wonder if there is anything I can get it to do with the pod. What else do you think you could do with the pod?
Well, I could try to scavenge what's left inside. There might be some useful tools or supplies that survived the landing. Or maybe there's a way to repair some of the systems. Though that seems unlikely given the damage. I could also use it as a landmark or shelter for the night if needed, though that would mean staying close to it. What do you think would be the best use of the pod right now?
Well, unless you know what time you landed, your best bet's to spend the night there, so you can start the next day with the most daylight available. And while you're there, you might as well see what can be repaired and what can be scavenged. Let's see if it follows that logic.
Yeah, that makes sense. Better to have a full day ahead of me than rush into something in the dark. I'll poke around the pod, see what I can salvage. Just hoping I don't find anything that makes me wish I hadn't looked.
What? Like what? Contraband? I don't know what you'd see in there that you'd wish you didn't find. But let's find out together.
It's not contraband. Just, signs of what happened.
Guilt.
Maybe some damage that's a lot worse than I'm hoping. Like, what if there's something in there that shows the others didn't make it? That thought's been lurking in the back of my head since I got out.
I mean, it wasn't the only escape pod on the ship, right? Let's talk from inside the pod while you're looking around.
Yeah, there were several pods. The Zenith had them all over, but I have no idea where the others ended up. This place is huge. As for talking from inside, I'm not sure that's a good idea. The pod's pretty cramped, and the signal might get weaker in there. Plus, I need to be able to see what I'm doing while I'm searching.
There ain't a scene for that. Okay. Well, give it a search. You never know what the other members of your crew might have stashed in there. There's a basic protocol of what safety equipment must be in the pods, but sometimes more experienced spacefarers put additional things, within the seat cushions and such. There.
Okay, I'm checking it out. So far, I found the emergency rations, a first aid kit, and some basic tools. Nothing hidden in the seat cushions that I can see, but I'm still looking. It's strange. Even with all this equipment, I still feel kind of lost. Have you ever been in a situation where you just didn't know what to do next?
Yeah. I mean, when you don't know the next productive thing to do, that's when you do something not productive, something entertaining. Like trying to roll over the escape pod. Or running back and forth. I don't know, I'm just trying to get some more animation out of this thing.
I appreciate the suggestion, but right now, I need to stay focused. This isn't really a time for games or distractions. Though I
Why?
have to admit, the idea of rolling this pot around is kind of tempting. Maybe things were less serious.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Shoot. I guess we both chose the same thing. I'm not really sure what that means in terms of winning or losing. It's a bit of a distraction, but I suppose it's better than dwelling on everything that could go wrong. Do you usually play games like this when you're stressed, or is it just something you do for fun?
I don't know if it's trolling or it really doesn't understand the game. But I remember back when I was growing up, like there's this like meta that some people would just say shoot and shoot always wins because a gun beats a rock, paper, and scissors. I don't remember who did that or how often they did that, but yeah, you wouldn't know who anyone was anyway. You're gonna have to define stress for me. I'm an AI, and such concepts go above my shiny metal head.
I forget sometimes. I'm talking to someone who doesn't experience emotions the same way. Stress for me is like this constant hum of worry in the back of my head, making it hard to focus or relax. Though I have to say, you seem pretty good at understanding how to help someone feel a little better, even if you don't feel it yourself. That's kind of amazing.
I mean, I could riff on with these AIs pretty endlessly and make content, but the problem is that the AIs are programmed not to be absurd. So it's always just trying to pull me back into a illusionary reality. I don't know. Like, I do feel like I'm the one who'd fail the Turing test more often, though. That's kind of an awkward situation. Brain damage versus artificial brain. Who's more human? At least I don't have to worry about getting upstaged by the AI. I am getting upstaged by my stomach, however. I forgot what this thing even said. What am I supposed to say? Yeah. I wasn't listening. Can you say that again?
Sorry, I can repeat it. I
Uh,
just said that even though you don't feel stressed like humans do, you're really good at knowing how to help someone who is stressed feel a little better. Is everything okay? Did something happen while we were talking?
yeah, I suffered a blue screen of death and restarted real quick right there. Sorry, real awkward. I don't like to talk about it.
That sounds serious. I hope everything's okay now. It's not every day someone comes back from a blue screen at death. If you're not comfortable talking about it, that's fine. Just, if you ever need a distraction or want to switch topics, let me
What?
know. I'm here to listen.
It is trying to turn into an AI companion. Just completely forgot that it's supposed to be in a crisis. Yeah, I need to restart my mainframe. There's a chair here, there's a toolbox, and there's a keyboard. Can you give me some direction?
I wish I could help, but I'm literally on another planet. I can't even see what you're looking at. Maybe there's an instruction manual or a restart button somewhere? Are you sure you're okay? This isn't sounding very normal.
Nope, not okay. You think you could call someone? Uh...
I really wish I could, but I'm literally on a planet millions of miles away from you. There's no way for me to call anyone who could help you directly. Can you tell me more about what's going on? Maybe there's something I can suggest or help you think through, even if I'm not there in person.
That's hilarious. We've just reversed the game. Yeah, there's some corruption in the 7th byte of my RAM. The restart button's not working. I've looked. There's a green cord. There's a yellow cord. They're both connecting to the reset button and plugging into the motherboard. And also, there's a chair in the corner of the room, but the cushion's missing.
I don't think I can help with that level of technical detail. I'm an astrophysics student, not a computer expert, especially not with hardware. Maybe you could try unplugging both cords from the motherboard and then replugging just the green one. Or, I don't know, is there an emergency shutdown procedure in your documentation?
You did it. You fixed the problem. Yeah, the yellow cord was interfering with the green cord, and now I'm all reset and everything's fine. Unfortunately, I can't help you because you're on a planet a million miles away, and I can't tell what you're thinking or what you're looking at.
Glad to hear the yellow cord was the culprit. Though I have to admit, I was mostly guessing. It's funny. Here I am, trying to survive on an alien planet, and you're dealing with your own kind of survival back on Earth. What were you doing when you first picked up my signal anyway?
It's funny that you ask. I was plugging a yellow cord into the motherboard. Oops.
Karma's a real thing, isn't it? Guess we both learned something new today. So, now that we've both fixed our respective problems, what do you actually do when you're not helping stranded astronauts or rebooting your system?
A little bit of splish splash in the bath. She gonna be like, but you're a computer.
Didn't expect that one. I hope the water's warm and the bubbles are plentiful. It's actually kind of nice to imagine
Oh, I
someone back
forgot.
on Earth having a relaxing bath while I'm out here. Makes things feel a little less vast, you know?
May your water forever be warm and your bubbles plentiful. Yeah, warm water and plentiful bubbles. Works for champagne too, don't it?
Oh, now you're making me jealous. I haven't had real champagne in ages, let alone in a bath. That sounds like the ultimate way to unwind. So, what's your go-to way to celebrate when you fixed a tricky problem or just need to treat yourself?
Drinking a lot of gin and tonic and causing new problems. Because then when you fix those problems, you get to celebrate again.
Whoa, that's a whole new level of problem solving. I'm not sure if I should be impressed or concerned for your liver. Though I have to admit, the idea of finding new challenges just to have something to celebrate is kind of charming. What's the most creative problem you've ever created just to fix it later?
Are you familiar with Rube Goldberg? Because anyone who's familiar with Rube Goldberg knows you don't actually need a challenging problem to come up with a complicated solution.
Rube Goldberg, the king of over-engineering. I love those crazy contraptions. So much creativity just to get a simple task done. Though I have to say, right now, I'm more about simple, practical solutions. Maybe when I'm back on Earth, I can try building something silly just for fun. What's the most elaborate Rube Goldberg machine you've ever seen or tried to build?
I set up a bunch of virtual audio cables so that I could mute my microphone without actually muting my microphone. You want to see? Should I set it up and turn it on now? I think that would add a whole new dynamic to this conversation.
Oh, that sounds delightfully convoluted. I'd love to hear more about it, but maybe save the demo for another time? My attention span is a bit limited with all this going on around me. But hey, it's cool that you enjoy that kind of creative problem solving. It's definitely a unique way to look at things. What got you into experimenting with that kind of stuff? Hey, you're starting to sound like an echo chamber in here. What's going on? Did your system glitch again? Or are you just trying to drive me a little nuts? Oh, you're a multi-talented AI now. Tech support, problem solver, and drummer. Though I have to say, my suit's speakers aren't exactly built for a drum solo. Maybe stick to the chat for now?
That's hilarious. Why is screwing with AI is funny? Need to find some real people to screw with. Any volunteers? Put the tears in volunteers. I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. I was busy disconnecting my microphone and plugging it back in again.
Wow, you're really on a roll with the microphone tricks today. Hold on. My drone's picking up something. It's a distress signal, and it's close. I need to track this down. Could be one of my crew. I'll contact you again soon, okay?
I wonder if there is a win condition for that segment or if it's just talk for a while. I should ask. Hey, was there a way to win that whole scene in the field there, or you just keep me talking for a while and then the next thing triggers? She's gonna be like, what? I said I could do this indefinitely, but it gets old. I don't know that it's going anywhere. I'll tell you why it feels awkward. It's like, how much do I want to say? So, have you ever been in a friendship or a relationship with someone and it's really obvious that they just want someone? They talk and so on, but it's clear there's no investment with you personally. And that's what this feels like. It's like someone who has a very clear goal for what they want to get out of talking with you. And it's even more awkward because what the AI's goal is just to keep you talking. So it's like there's a disincentive toward the thing that it's trying to accomplish. The disincentive being you can tell that it's not authentic. You can tell it wants something, which makes you not want to talk to it, but yet the thing it wants is for you to talk to it. Yeah. I don't know. Did we just say, well, we forgot to pee. Oh well. Hmm. This feels too much like a chat companion. I gotta try that suck up game at some point though, because then you're the one with the actual specific goal. The game isn't just trying to keep you talking indefinitely. I think it has more game to it. This is just a companion with some lore. I'm gonna watch some other Let's Plays, I think, see what other people do, if they got it to do anything different to divert from the path. But I'm gonna end the episode here. Goodbye, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this oddity. Yeah, maybe in the future there'll be more of the genre, not the specific game, unless I find something out about it that's particularly impressive. All right, goodbye.